we finally have a way to reframe full 8K 360 video for free, even in the free version of DaVinci Resolve. GoPro just dropped a brand new Reframe plugin that works inside both the free and studio version of Resolve, and it supports any 360 camera, not just GoPro. That means you can get studio quality reframe video without paying for Adobe Premiere, After Effects, or even the Blackmagic Resolve Studio. It's 100% free from start to finish, and you can export beautiful 4K reframed shot that match perfectly with your 2D cinema camera. Today, I will show you exactly how to do it using 8K 360 footage from the GoPro Max, the DJI Osmo 260, Insta360 X5 or X4 Air, and even the Coolcam 3 Ultra. Plus, I will share pro-level reframe tips to push your image quality even further. So, if your 8K 360 footage look terrible after reframing, it's not your camera's fault, it's your workflow. Let's fix that right now. There are many ways to reframe 360 video directly inside DaVinci Resolve. We have our original method published 6 years ago right here, which, by the way, a lot of creators still copying, and the newer method using Cutter VR right here. Both are still very valid and powerful way to reframe 360 video. Cutter VR and Reactor now even have its own standalone installer and more advanced tool that support the latest version of DaVinci Resolve, including the free version. We will have a dedicated tutorial coming up very soon to cover that workflow in detail. But today, we are focusing on the official method developed by GoPro, the GoPro Reframe plugin for DaVinci Resolve. Why GoPro Reframe? Because it's extremely easy to use, assuming you actually watch this tutorial from start to finish, and it's 100% free. You don't need to own the new GoPro Max 2 right here to use it. It works with any 360 camera as long as they are 8K. If your camera is not 8K, you probably should not be using it. But hey, this workflow also will work for the lower resolution 360 camera as well. Let's start by going to this link and downloading the GoPro Reframe plugin for DaVinci Resolve. It's still in beta right now, but that only means it's going to get even better. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe because we will be following up with more tutorial as it evolves. Now we need to prep our 360 video into a lossless format for editing. A lot of the people skip this part,
and that is exactly why their reframe result look like my poop.
For footage shot on a GoPro Max 2, open GoPro Player and load your .260 file. Go to File, Export as 8K, open the Advanced option and choose ProRes as your render format. Why ProRes? Because any other format will drop your quality every time you re-export. HEVC or the H.264 are not editing friendly format, as you can see right here. The best way to maintain your image quality is to use a lossless codec like ProRes. In the latest GoPro player, there's also a new denoise feature. You can try it, but I usually turn it off and do my own denoising in DaVinci Resolve using the AI tool they have. It gives me better result and faster rendering, but feel free to experiment and see what works best for you. When you have set it up, hit Next to start the render. If you're using the Insta360 X5, X4 or X4 Air, open a .insb file in Insta360 Studio on desktop. Set your in and out point right here and then export 360 video and select ProRes 422 as your encoding format. By the way, there is an update here. Insta360 now officially support the Apple APMP format. If you are delivering your 360 video to Apple Vision Pro, that is the checkbox you want to enable. Then start the export. Only Insta360 and GoPro officially support Apple Vision Pro. So if that is your goal, don't choose the wrong brand. For DJI Osmo 260 user, open DJI Studio and drop your footage in the timeline. Trim the section you want to reframe, then go to Image, Stitching Optimization, and select High Precision Smart Stitching. That will clean up most of the stitching artifacts you see right here, since the default DJI stitching isn't that great. Now hit Export. Choose Panoramic Video, set the resolution to 8K, keep it to 50 frames per second, and for the bitrate, switch to custom and max it out to 480 megabit per second. DJI doesn't have a true lossless codec output, so maxing the bitrate get you as close as possible. I turn noise reduction off, but again, feel free to experiment. The output is a 10-bit log file, which gives you the full flexibility for color grading inside DaVinci Resolve, which is the best color grading software out there. So you get the general idea here. Whatever 360 camera you use, always export from its own stitching software at the highest quality, either ProRes or max bitrate HEVC, to preserve all your original camera data. Make sure your pipeline never includes a step that compress your video or lost image data along the way. That is what separates professional from amateur. The attention to detail and the clean workflow that keep your footage looking cinematic. It is insanely competitive on social media now, and bad looking footage has no chance to stand out. So pay attention to the detail and keep pushing that quality. If you haven't already, go ahead and download the free version of DaVinci Resolve, then install the GoPro Reframe plugin we just downloaded. Once that is done, open Resolve and create a new project. Head straight to the edit page, right-click in the timeline, choose Timelines, and create new timeline. Uncheck Use Project Settings, give your timeline a name, and go to Format. We are going to set this up for the best quality reframe video output for YouTube or any other 16:9 platform first. Under Timeline, Resolution, choose 3840 by 2160 Ultra HD. Match your frame rate to your camera. So if you're using the GoPro Max 2, that's 29.97 FPS. For the DJI OSMO 260, it should be 50 frames per second or whatever frame rate you actually shot at. Now, the most important step, in mismatch resolution, set it to center crop with no resizing. This tells the free version of Resolve to use the original 8K quality instead of scaling it down to 4K. So you are working with the full resolution source for your reframe. Then hit create. Let's jump in the GoPro Max 2 video right here. For this demo, we mount the Max 2 on our very expensive immersive camera card to capture an epic behind-the-scenes look at how we use the $30,000 Blackmagic URSA Cine Immersive camera on our latest immersive film, Aspen Cowgirl, now available to watch in full 3D on YouTube VR. By the way, the GoPro Max 2 and the GoPro Player just got a major update that significantly improved the image quality. I want to show you a quick before and after comparison so you can see it for yourself. It is honestly crazy how good the Max 2 look now, especially if you export in ProRes. This update completely changed the game and basically made all the old GoPro Max 2 versus DJI versus Insta360 comparison video out there kinda useless. We are already working on a new fair comparison video coming up very soon. And just so you know, none of our tutorials or camera reviews are sponsored. That's why we can talk openly, test fairly, and give you the real result. So if you appreciate honest review and practical 360 tutorial, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumb up. It really helps us keep doing what we love. Okay, back to Resolve. Trim your clip to exactly what you need, then right-click on the clip and choose Open in Fusion page. Think of Fusion as the DaVinci Resolve version of After Effects in Adobe Premiere. All your visual effect work should be done in Fusion, not in the edit page. And technically, 360 reframing is a VFX job, but don't worry, GoPro makes it so easy that anyone can do it. If you are new to Fusion, here's a super quick interface guide. Click this icon up here to bring up two preview windows. Think of them as your before and after view. You can use the node view down here to assign which node show up in which preview window. For example, by pressing the number 1 on your keyboard or click this little dot right here, you assign media in 1 to window number 1. Then click the second dot right here to assign media out 1 to window number 2. Now, pay attention to the input resolution right here. This clip is 780/60 by 3840, which is full 8K. We are in the free version of DaVinci Resolve right now, and normally that version has a limitation of 3840 by 2160 or UHD 4K. But here's the trick. That limit does not apply inside Fusion. Fusion still reads the full resolution input video. And that's why this method gives you the best possible quality when reframing, better than any of the other old method we cover on this channel or on those, let's say, copycat channels. Since our input is maxed out at 4K UHD anyway, you don't actually need the paid studio version of the result for this workflow. The studio version still has some great advantage like the AI tool, but for simple reframing, you can do everything you need completely free. Compared to pay over $1,000 a year for Adobe Premiere, free sounds pretty good, right? Click and select Media 1 and press Shift plus Spacebar to bring up the search menu. Search for GoPro Reframe, click Add, and place that node between the Media In and Media Out. Now put the GoPro Reframe node output onto window number 1 by clicking this little dot right here. In the projection dropdown, select our projection size, which is 16:9 4K UHD. Right away, you will see a beautiful 4K reframed output. And if you have used the GoPro Reframe plugin in Adobe Premiere before, this interface will look very familiar. Click here to switch to a single view window so we can have more screen space to work with. Now open source operation. Under 260 source, you can adjust and reframe your 260 footage. I usually use this section to level the horizon if the shot isn't perfectly level and to set the starting point of the video. Here, I want the shot to start on the old rancher, so I'm adjusting the yard until he's centered. For micro-precise adjustment, hold down the option on a Mac or on a window when dragging the number right here. That slows the movement down to 0.1 degree increment for super fine control. Now let's start the actual reframing. I like to use the on-screen control for that. Go ahead and insert keyframe on pan, tilt, rotate, and zoom. Set the lens curve to 70. That removes the fisheye distortion and give you a normal, undistorted camera view. You can also animate the lens curve if you want that tiny planet look. Set the tilt to -90 degrees and zoom to around 30. But we are not doing that here. We're going for a real camera cinematic perspective. So set the lens curve back to 70. If you ever need to reset your setting, just double click the little dots under the tilt or the zoom right here. That will reset the value to default. Now, jump to frame 85 and adjust the on-screen control to reframe the shot toward our rancher. You can adjust the roll using the left and right box right here and adjust the zoom using the top and bottom box right here. We are going to zoom way in on the rancher. Then go to frame 150, keep the rancher center, and move ahead to frame 500, set the zoom to 60. If you play it back from frame 150 to frame 500, you will notice we have just created the famous Dolly zoom effects, where the camera moves in while the zoom push out. It is a powerful storytelling technique that instantly draws the viewer's attention by playing with parallax. In traditional cinematography, this effect is extremely hard to pull off, but with 8K 260 footage, it's incredibly easy, as you can see right here. If your playback starts lagging, totally normal with 8K footage. Go to playback setting and set the timeline proxy resolution to quarter. You can also turn on render cache smart to improve performance. If your computer is really struggling, creating a proxy will also help. Now move to frame 700 using the left and right on-screen box right here. Roll the camera a full 360 degrees. And there you go, a barrel roll effects. Look awesome, right? That is how easy it is to recreate those signature install 360 style animation inside the GoPro Reframe plugin, but with complete manual control. Finally, go to frame 1300 and pan up to review the ranch logo. Add a zoom in for emphasis. And just like that, we have created a cinematic ranch commercial using nothing but a single GoPro Max 2 and the free GoPro Reframe plugin inside DaVinci Resolve. Pretty cool! If you play it back right now, you will notice the animation look very robotic, stiff, and unnatural. Definitely not cinematic. Let's fix that. The first issue is there's no motion blur on the animation, and that is a dead giveaway that is fake. So let's add some. Open Advanced Control right here and check motion blur. Instantly, you will see the movement look more organic, especially during that fast barrel roll section. Next, we are going to smooth out those keyframes with some ECE animation. This one is super easy too. Open the spline panel right here and check the GoPro Reframe 1 node. Click zoom to fit so you can see all the keyframes you just created. Now press Ctrl A on a window or Command A on a Mac and select all the keyframes. Then click right here to enable ease in and ease out on all of them. That instantly add natural acceleration and deceleration to your camera movement. If you are an advanced user, you can dive even deeper, go keyframe by keyframe and adjust the velocity curve manually. That let you control the ramp up and ramp down speed of every movement, giving you total creative control to make your reframe look cinematic and professional instead of robotic like the default installed DaVinci Studio animation. When you're done, close the spline panel and preview your animation. You will see the difference right away. Hit playback and you will see that all your animation and reframing translate perfectly into the 4K timeline with extremely high quality. Since the GoPro Max 2 captures in true 8K resolution, your footage will look incredibly crisp in a 4K project, as long as you are following every step I just covered here. Now, it's a great time to render out your fusion effect. Go to the deliver page. If you plan to bring this clip back into a 4K timeline and mix it with another 2D footage shot on your Sony or Canon DSLR, I recommend exporting in ProRes inside a QuickTime.mov container. That keeps your image lossless, preserving all the detail from your reframe work. If you deliver this directly to YouTube or Vimeo, choose MP4, set the codecs to H.265 and export in 4K. That will give you the best balance between file size and visual quality for an online release. Great! Now you can see how easy it is to reframe full 8K 360 video using the GoPro Reframe plugin inside DaVinci Resolve. Next, let's learn how to do the exact same thing with other camera brand. In the next demo, we will reframe DJI OSMO 260 footage using the GoPro Reframe plugin. Yeah, I know, it's kinda ironic since they are competitors, but guess what? They actually work perfectly together. Let me show you now. Create a new timeline and this time, check use vertical resolution for social media delivery. Set the frame rate to 50 frames per second. Since I shot on the DJI Osmo 260 in 50 frames per second high frame rate to make the video look ultra smooth on Instagram. High frame rate video really pop on social feed. So if your camera can do it, definitely use it. Now drop in your DJI Osmo 260 clip, right click on it and open it up in the Fusion page. And here you will see I make a mistake on purpose so you can catch it yourself. Go back to the edit page and check your timeline scaling setting. Under mismatch resolution, make sure it's set to center crop with no resizings. Once you fix that, go back to the Fusion page. You will now see the full 760/80 by 3840 8K footage filming the entire frame. Always make sure your source video stays 8K and that you are not accidentally scaling it down. That is super important. Right down. Now click Media in 1, press Shift plus Spacebar to bring up the search bar and find GoPro Reframe. Edit after Media in 1. If you don't see this setting window, make sure your inspector window is open. In the GoPro Reframe 1 node, set the projection to 9 by 16, 1080 by 1920. Always match your projection resolution to your edit page timeline resolution for a seamless reframe workflow. Now just follow what you just learned earlier. Insert your keyframe, use the on-screen control to reframe, and apply ECE on each keyframe to design a smooth, professional-looking reframe animation. When you're done, go back to the edit page and you will see your beautiful vertical reframe video ready to go. We shot this on a D-Log-M with the DJI Osmo 260, so now is the perfect time to take advantage of DaVinci Resolve's powerful color grading tool to really make this 10-bit footage shine. If you have the studio version of Resolve, you can even use the AI-powered Ultra NR to clean up the noise and then use a subtle sharpening pass like this. The result looks dramatically better than what you can get out of the DJI Studio Reframe. Clear, sharper, and much more cinematic. You can do the exact same thing with Insta360 X5 8K footage or even the Coolcam 3 Ultra. The sky really is the limit. DaVinci Resolve, even the free version, is an incredible, powerful, professional NLE trusted by Hollywood filmmakers. Having access to a tool like this for free right at your fingertip can instantly elevate your production value in today's crowded social media space. Thank you so much for watching this GoPro Reframe for DaVinci Resolve tutorial. This plugin is way more powerful than most people realize, and what we cover here only scratched the surface. You can combine it with DaVinci Resolve Magic Mask to key out subject, or use IntelliTrack for AI-powered frame tracking and automation. We will dive into all of that in upcoming tutorials. And if you want to use the GoPro Reframe plugin directly inside your edit page, well, there's a clever hack for that as well. We will show you next. So if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumb up if you appreciate the effort we put into this tutorial, and share it with other creators who want to master 360 and immersive workflows. Now, go out there, make some amazing 360 reframe video and tag us on Instagram so we can see your work, share it, and help you to grow. I will see you in the next tutorial. Ciao!